Hello, everybody. It's me again, Simon Hinton, here with Reverend Devi Grace. This is the third video of 4 videos on the Hieros Gamos quantum healing mother-father source code technology, of which, if you've been seeing us online, you will know we're doing a 3-part, 3 times 3 hours online presentation, activation, co-participation with those people who are ready to truly step up, transform, and ascend, not just etherically or mentally, but biologically as well. Now, tonight, we're going to talk just for a few minutes about the power of integrated ascension circuitry. So I'm going to hand over to Devi in just one moment, but I will say this. The idea of circuitry, it's a little bit like an acorn. The acorn contains all the trees of the future forests, of the future oaks. But the oaks haven't yet manifested yet. The blueprint is within that acorn. And then, of course, there is the pre-acorn phase. Before we have an acorn, out there somewhere in the field is the blueprint of the acorn, not yet manifest, but it exists on some place. So if you think about that idea, ascension circuitry is very much about, as we move from caterpillar, as we metamorphosize from caterpillar to cocoon to butterfly, the angelic butterfly opening up into our true power, our true sovereignty, different aspects have to come online to facilitate that. Just like a baby in the womb, a fetus grows and eventually its meridians, its chakras, its blood, its organs come on board and grow and eventually manifest into the baby. So it is with ascension. We are talking about bringing through a different type of human, a new kind of human that is expanded, open, wise, loving, and serves the whole rather than just operating for 3D service to self mentality. So we're excited because this technology really works. And with that, I'm going to hand you over now to the world's leading Hieros Gamos technology expert, Reverend Devi Grace, who I've partnered up with because she's the real deal and what she does works. I'm known as the quantum guru affectionately by some people because I've worked with the quantum field consciously for over 25 years. And so we've brought lots of quantum modalities in. This takes it to the natural next octave. Reverend Devi Grace, welcome again. What is Ascension Circuitry? Tell me what it's all about. I've sort of given a little prelude.
One of the categories that allows Simon and I to collaborate so beautifully with each other is I also have had 46 years of experience in the quantum field as a result of those very, very early childhood near-death experiences. So here's one caveat. I got my upgrades, right, into a quantum or holographic consciousness at a very early age. And so sometimes I use terminology or verbiage or words that are not familiar jargon, right? For modern times, I am pulling this language, though, from the arcane, which means it is the ancient wisdom of all of humanity. And therefore, when Simon and I get together and have these little discussions, there is a seed of that memory, as he mentioned, the acorn, that lives inside of each and every one of us, where in another dimension or another lifetime, these terms weren't foreign. And therefore, nothing that Simon and I are discussing is actually new. And it's actually asking us to return to that ancient mystery school intelligence that humanity used to have before it got dumbed down. And so that's a sigh of relief when people go like, oh, none of this is new concepts. None of this is new concepts. What's new is our capacity to surrender. So we're taking ancient wisdom and evolving it, because now our bodies are able to surrender to love's intelligence more easily and effortlessly, because we've upgraded the baseline frequency or Schumann resonance of the whole planet with assistance from our celestial allies, shall we say, in the other dimensions of consciousness. So this ancient wisdom is now primed because the earth herself is vibrating at a higher oscillation of light frequency ongoingly every single day. Therefore, this ancient wisdom that could have been lost is now resurrecting itself, like the butterfly metamorphosizing out of the caterpillar. So this is why we're actually languaging what you would call the truth from the golden ages. And so as you're listening to me and as you're listening to Simon, just put that little caveat in your heart of like, I'm not just going to listen from my cognition. I can also listen from my heart. My heart is going to remember that she is speaking ancient truth and inviting us to bring it back out of the cobwebs. So much of the circuitry of biological ascension is actually covered in ancient Chinese medicine because of the principles of acupuncture and because also of ancient yogic science that spoke of the minimum of 72,000 nadis, which is similar to Chinese medicine meridians, which is similar to geomancy, right? That works with the ley lines or the dragon lines or the electromagnetic circuits of the body of the planet. This is how energy moves through matter. This is how light travels through form. The prime directive of the Hieros Gamos will always be, as we discussed yesterday, the union of spirit and matter. That's your key code right there. The union of substance, the Sophia, the essence of the pure love materiality, as Dr. Jacqueline Hobbs languages it, with the body, with the physical reality, with this dimensional, right, congratized, right, structure. And so we're bringing this marriage of this super high velocity of light, source creation energy, which is the bride, because she's the spirit essence. And she's being called to mate with her beloved, which is the logos of the whole planet. So Simon was talking about that blueprint in the acorn. So if you go look up the term entelechy, E-N-T-E-L-E-C-H-Y, that is the realization through these ancient traditions of philosophy that everything has a pre-existing divine blueprint. If you look up the term morphogenetic physics from Dr. Rupert Sheldrake, you can always replay these videos, right? Write down these words. It's the M field, the pre-existing energetic morphogenetic blueprint, which is that divine intelligence that knows the highest expression of how that spirit is designed, divinely designed to come down into matter. The avenue through which the union of spirit into matter takes place is through the infrastructure of the circuitry. Therefore, in order to say yes to this upgrade, the body must trust the spirit to set up, right, the higher infrastructure. So this is where your metaphors of science fiction, right, with interstellar concepts of like, wow, I have an interstellar blueprint that's laying dormant in my body. And through the guidance of having like a shamanic guide, because that's all that Simon and I really are, right? We're midwives, male and female midwives. There's this latent knowing. There's this latent gnosis that each and every one of us has this Hieros Gamos blueprint that's indwelling at the core of our bodies. And it's just turned off. The circuitry is like flipping that switch of electricity on the wall and turning the circuitry on. Then you're giving your body the signal that you're humble enough or excited enough or open enough to become that pioneer and allow these other multi-dimensional frequencies of divine love to take up residence in your vessel or in your vehicle. It would be like pouring, right, the liquid light into the cup of the Holy Grail. And this Hieros Gamos is drinking from the Holy Grail. I am not using that as a metaphor. That's a fact. The Hieros Gamos embodiment is a quantum technology of bringing back the promise of the Holy Grail and drinking of that animating presence of the source divine substrate and literally drenching it into what for most human beings is the desert, right, of their bodies. Because this culture is taught to live from its mind, which means predominantly from the shoulders up. I think, therefore I am is divorced of the Hieros Gamos. Pure soul embodiment means that I am saturating my body with what you would call the etheric nourishment and sustenance of the goddess, of the primal materia, right? The Divine Mother's ocean of love, and allowing that to organize itself in my human biospiritual anatomy. This was not well understood like 10 years ago. And now I'm not the only one, right, bringing forth these principles. If you look up that term, biospiritual anatomy, you'll find tons of messengers, right, that are highlighting this importance at this juncture. You know,
Thank
we're
you,
in partnership
Devi.
with all them.
Thank you. That's brilliantly put. So just to clarify, everybody, this three-part series, as well as providing an introduction to this expanded quantum field technology called Hieros Gamos, Devi's going to begin the process to provide the foundation for you to bring through the Ascension Circuitry. Now, the Ascension Circuitry upgrades are something that she will show you in future times once you've done the foundation, because the foundation is basically the basis to prepare you for the expansion, to share with you tools that will enable you, little old you and little old me, to access the quantum field consciously and do so in such a way as to protect yourself and understand the real core principles that underpin this twilight world we call the quantum field, this non-temporal place that is no place, has no form, and yet within its formlessness, it has, somewhat paradoxically, the nature of everything. And nature is a big word for us because we know that nature as organic sentience is what we gravitate towards as true healers and sages. What we gravitate away from is the cold, sourceless, controlling artificial transhumanist intelligence, which is a different timeline from the one that we choose. The timeline of control and subjugation and manipulation and dependency upon a demigod created by humans or created by humans in combination with lower entities is what we choose to move away from. What we choose to move towards is an organic approach to life, love rather than fear. So the other way is the fear-based consciousness. We rescue you. You know, you're scared, therefore you'll do this and that, to love-based consciousness where we're attracted, naturally attracted to things that make our hearts sing, that fill us with joy, passion, inspiration, connection to our true power and nature, which we all have because all of us are actually co-creators. All of us are extensions of Brahma, Godhead, whatever you want to call it, and we have the power, believe it or not, to formulate new realities for ourselves, much more than most people realize, actually. Most people's power is hidden, it's been eclipsed. With these upgrades, with these activations, with these teachings, with this ancient knowledge that's being resuscitated, resurrected, if you like, within our field, we're going to share with you how to clear your trauma. We're going to share with you how to have deeper, open-hearted spiritual connection, gnosis, we call it, divine knowledge, we're going to show you how to facilitate necessary changes in your life that can help you align and manifest what we call your highest dharma, your highest soul path, your highest destiny point, invariably eclipsed in this planet because there are so many distractions. And we're going to show you how to cut through that and trim and prune that which is superfluous to your highest evolution manifesting. So I hope you've enjoyed this little introduction, part 3. If you're interested in what we're doing and what we're sharing, the first of the 3 courses is September the 18th, Monday, September the 18th. And we are still doing a little discount, £54 off, £199. That's around, I don't know, $250 for 9 hours of intense work and tools that you can utilize subsequently. So we feel it's a fantastic value package for everybody. We wanted to make it affordable. We have a lot of experience. We've done a lot of work, Devi and I, individually over the last decades. So we're bringing all that together in a format which is accessible and palatable, hopefully for you to understand in simple terms how to create a new reality, how to help you create the highest form of human, the human, H-U-E, so that we can access all rays, all colors, all frequencies, and create a world that is 1010% better than the one we have at the moment and greater.
Simon, the metaphor that we can share with them today is we're really moving into a direct experience of the texture and the viscosity of light. So really start imagining, what does the texture and synthesis and viscosity of light through my body feel like? Then you're getting into the somatic. So that's our invitation. Ponder that, because it's designed for pleasure. Because that kind of viscosity and texture and synthesis of light in our bodies feels really, really yummy. Feels really, really good, right? Yes. Enjoyment of soul ensouled in the body. It's yummalicious, as we say in my circles. So look forward to transmitting tomorrow as well.
Book now. Okay, hit the link below. You see how to connect with us. And if you need to connect to Devi and I personally, then you can PM us on Facebook or info@simonhinton.com, and we'll show you how to make it easy. And thank you, Devi, for that most lucid description. Ascension Circuitry, it's very real, and we're looking forward greatly to sharing it with you. Take care, everybody, and have a wonderful day.
See you tomorrow.